everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 51. I'm Adam and today we are kicking off battle number 51 with two more beasts fight out for a spot in round 2. Both from the new generation nonetheless as well. So, representing series 14, The Cursed Dragon. Book number 2, Vislak, the Slithering Serpent. And representing series 19, The Kingdom of Dragons. Book number 1, Quarg or Quarg, the Stone Dragon. Yeah, I'm starting to think the name is probably Quarg, but I'm leaning more towards Quarg because I've been calling it Quarg for ages. But yeah, Vislak versus Quarg, I think we all know who's going to win, but it's a snake versus a dragon. I like my snakes, but dragons are pretty damn good. So, good luck. Battlefield is going to be a deserty arena because they're both reptiles, so they're good in the extreme heat. So yeah, deserty arena. Here we go. So with that being said, Lucas, inputs. Let's get to the stats. I got a spot at the end of my nose. Okay, now that we're back, we're going to go to the weaknesses. So we're going to start things off with Vislak. Weaknesses for Vislak are enchantment. Due to being a young beast, Vislak is extremely susceptible to enchantment and tongue tip removal. If Vislak's tongue is cut off while under an enchantment, the enchantment will wear off. So in other words, doesn't really have any weaknesses relating to if he's not enchanted. Moving on to Quarg or Quarg. Petrification weakness. Quarg or Quarg isn't immune to his own petrification, however he can escape it without aid. And enchantment is a probable weakness because the Beast Quest wiki is saying that Quarg or Quarg is a rather young beast as well and is susceptible to enchantments. Now, I've always known him to be in the 200s with age, I think. I need to check the Holy Bible here to see what we actually got here for Quarg. Yeah, 265 for age. So, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. But yeah, I was right, knowing that Quarg's age is known to be in the 200s. So, I don't know what's really going on with Quarg here. But with that, let's get into the battle. So as the chamber doors open, Vislak burrows underground, immediately comes out and goes underneath the ground and makes his way to the underground, just creating a variety of tunnels for him to slither through. Whilst Quarg bursts through the sky exit and sees nothing but sand, but also a hole going underneath the earth. So what he does is, he swoops down to that hole and breathes fire directly into it. Vislak feels the heat coming from behind him. He turns around to see the fire coming. So what he does is, he creates a hole up to the center, up to the surface, but then digs down and digs further down. And then tries to get out of the way of the fire to make sure it won't reach him. As heat rises, the fire almost immediately goes up, but also continues forwards around the tunnels, and none of it goes down. Goes down to where Vislak is. Vislak knows he needs to be more careful now, and Quarg notices this other hole and breathes fire down that one. And whilst he does that one, Vislak is already creating a diversion for that one, so then the fire doesn't get to him. It turns out that after some minutes of that happening, there's been a ton of holes all over the surface of the battlefield, and Vislak is still hiding underground trying to avoid Quarg's fire. Quarg, in frustration, lifts up his front claws and smashes them down onto the ground, shaking the entire ground, just collapsing the entire arena onto the tunnels, collapsed onto Vislak as well. In a state of panic, Vislak burrows up to the surface just to see what's gone on, and Quarg is at the surface just waiting for Vislak to come up and immediately shoots a fire breath directly towards him. Vislak slithers out of the hole and scurries around, and he shoots... Hold on, can he shoot venom? I believe Vislak can. Yeah, Vislak shoots his venom directly towards Quarg. Quarg only lifts up his claw and slashes the sand beneath him, just creating a sand shield, protecting him. And in a rage, Vislak creates a sand tornado coming towards Quarg. Quarg, in utter confusion, flaps his wings to flap it back towards Vislak. However, Vislak creates another sand tornado to counteract that one, and it explodes into a pile of sand going absolutely everywhere. Quarg shoots a stony gaze towards where he last saw Vislak. However, Vislak's already gone out of the way and has snuck up behind Quarg, to where he shoots his venom at Quarg's rear legs and tail, making it harder for him to move them. And he slithers up to Quarg's back and bites down into Quarg's back, only to be greeted by stone, what seems like stone he bit into, which caused Vislak to reel back from pain in his mouth. And Quarg flaps his wings and turns over to get Vislak off, and he slashes Vislak right on the underbelly, knocking Vislak back as well. Quarg shoots a fire breath towards Vislak. Vislak tries to get out of the way, but his tail gets scorched in the process. And as Quarg is making his way up to Vislak, Vislak is trying to slither away, but going a bit slower than he normally does. And Quarg decides that he's going to shoot a stony gaze towards Vislak, and it hits Vislak directly in the tail. As the stone is starting to go round all of Vislak's body, Vislak in retaliation shoots venom directly towards Quarg's face, which splashes all over him, blocking up his nostrils and keeping his mouth sealed shut. Quarg gets back down, falls to the ground, trying to catch his breath, trying to scrape off the venom, but he's having a bit of trouble doing it. And Vislak slithers up to Quarg as fast as he could, and seeing that his underbelly is weaker than his back, he goes to bite at Quarg's underbelly, and this time it actually gets in, and some blood is dripping out, but not a lot. Quarg uses his claw and just slashes Vislak out of the way as the rest of him turns to stone, and Vislak is frozen in place in utter shock and devastation. Quarg is able to use his claws to eventually rip the venom off, and he makes his way back to his chamber, ready for the next battle. So that Quarg has won, Vislak has lost. If you think Vislak should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that. However, my word's final and Quarg is moving on to the next round. For me, really, was Vislak could have a chance. At the end of the day, Quarg is made of stone. So already it's going to be harder for Vislak to even bite him. And then, not to mention, with the stony gaze that Quarg has, eventually he would hit him. And whilst Vislak did have the advantage with the whole whack-a-mole game going on, Quarg is, I would say, is an angry beast. So in a fit of rage, he would just smash his claws on the ground, just collapse in the whole tunnels, because it's very weak now. And then when that's happened, Vislak's essentially playing the game of dodgeball until he can get Quarg dead. But unfortunately for Vislak, Quarg was too powerful for him. So with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the little notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.